Dr. Battle himself. Carl the Man Lambda. Boris Pix. How was class? Class was yesterday. Everybody. Quackin, Colnut, Flame Boy, Walker. Thank you for the 7 months. McPhail, thank you for the 16. SS Pancakes, thank you for the 29. Tusk Act 4, thank you for the 14. Okay. Did I get this all set up? Yeah, I think so. Generally. Well, we'll see. We'll see. How's everybody doing? I was gonna sleep. What were you saying? Not to say that baseball is boring, but I am at a baseball game right now, and I'm at an MLB game, and I immediately whipped out Targeting Tuesday when I saw the notification. Are you with people? If you're with your family or you're on a date or something, just watch the game. Don't. I was going to sleep and skip homework, but then you went live. So now you're going to stay awake and skip homework? Why don't you just do your homework? I like bugs. They have the 5 months. IDK Kate. You know what that reminds me of? Is that old... None of you guys remember this because you guys are all fucking Zoomers. But there was a really popular ad in the early 2000s, and they played it over and over and over. And it was about texting. And it was like a Verizon ad that would give you more texts on your plan. And the girl kept saying, IDK, my BFF Jill. Yeah, you remember that? Oh, Lambda remembers it. Yeah, you guys, that's what your name reminds me of. Holy shit, you guys do remember it. Does that ad exist? Can I watch that ad? IDK, my BFF Jill. I mean, watching ads is part of Marketing Monday. Let's see. This is from 2007.
It's IBAU.
Your cell phone bill is what's up. All this texting.
OMG, INBD.
It is a big deal. Who are you texting 50 times a day?
IDK, my BFF Jill.
Tell your BFF Jill that I'm taking away your phone.
TISNF.
Me paying this bill, that's what's S.
TOS? What's TOS? Oh. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Well said. Well said. It is. Good one, chat. New rules. It's a burned in ad. Holy shit. Holy shit. Today's a monumentous day in Twitch history. We will get to that. Yeah, a tough one for Marketing Monday, I will say. But good ad. Sorry, I'm just finishing my tasty sweet potato fries and Hero. You know, you got to be well nutritioned to do a Marketing Monday. Everyone always says that. You're welcome, chat. If the advertised chat would be burned. We're back to Zoomed In. Can't we been back, bro? Eat before stream? Fuck off. How about that? How about I'm hungry and I fucking ate a little bit before stream. I'll eat a little bit right now. Jesus Christ. If I put a chat message long enough, I can take up more than 3% of your screen and get you taken down. Well, as you know, or as you will know when we talk about it, they did walk it back. But I will go into it because I think it's very interesting. But we're going to do that after a little bit of talking. Shoot the shit for just a little bit. Then we'll play the intro. We'll jump into Marketing Monday wins and fails on a Tuesday. Lots of wins and lots of fails. And the cool thing is I didn't categorize them. So every win or fail will be made up on the spot, but then we'll cover it. All right? Iconic outfit today, for real, for real. Thank you so much. I love that when I wear the same flannel shirt I've worn 100 times, it has become an iconic outfit. And I really appreciate that. Slayed today. Thank you. I think I did slay today. I think I ate when I put this fucking flannel on. Are you a part of the list generation? Now tell me what that is. What is the list generation? I've never heard of a generation based on lists. Hey, Big A, I'm watching you from my summer camp job in the Everglades. I'm surrounded by sleeping children on all sides. Don't you have your own bunk? Or like, isn't there like the adults cabin? why are you fucking, weird location. Did you listen to the new Central C song? How new? I listened to one pretty recently that I thought was pretty good. Or maybe you're just one of the kids. Yeah, maybe you're just one of the kids. Bro is 10. He's one of the campers. Yeah, that makes sense. Yo, Big A, I'm ordering Taco Bell right now. Do you want anything? You know what I want? To me, material goods don't matter. I just like your support. So all I really ask for is like 28 chalupas sent directly to me with 2 Crunchwrap Supremes and a large Baja Blast. That's it. That's all I, because to me, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not about the items, you know, it's about the friendship and the camaraderie and your support with the content. And I just appreciate that. So just get me exactly those items though, please, because you did offer and it is legally binding. I'm eating day-old tater tots. You don't have to update me on that. That is something you can keep to yourself. Hey, Atrioc, I'm watching you from my small bunk at the summer camp in the Everglades. There's an adult here that I've never seen. Well, you guys can talk about it. You're both watching the same thing. How lucky is that? You guys can share notes on Marketing Monday. Hey, Big Nay. And you put a carrot, like as if I'm a horse. There's really no reason for that. I have never done anything even remotely horse-related. First-time chatter, long-time viewer. Gotta say, your stream is def my favorite. Thank you, Bednarik. You truly are. I was your first-time chatter, actually. Oh, wow. Wow, it looks like you... Oh, interesting. Wow. Since 2016. A horse would eat all that Taco Bell. I'm not going to do that. Gav Dad, thank you for the prime. Pole vault addict. Really? Pole vault addict? Thank you for the 13 months. You've mentioned the frustration NVIDIA had with Linus Tech Tips coverage of their products. I've always wondered if being a YouTuber gave you a different perspective on that situation. Yeah, I mean, of course I understand. Look, Linus is very good at what he does, and he's got to play some things up. Everything has to have an emotional attachment to it. I think it worked well for him when he would make it negative about NVIDIA. For example, I mean, just for example, today, he posted, hating Apple's getting really hard. PogChamp. And he talks about how the only bad thing is the price. But, you know, if this were an NVIDIA product in general, he's done basically the opposite, where it's like, yeah, the product's great, but the price, you know, and it's like hating NVIDIA is getting really easy because the price is so high. So it's just, it feels, you know what I'm saying? It's like but that's what you do as a YouTuber. If you're a YouTuber, you try to be super, super analytical and super boring and super just the facts, no one clicks. Generally, that's why I don't blame him at all. And his actual, if you listen to his full review, they're pretty much always super good, super honest. It's just the clickbait thumbnails. Now where is? Do you think it's cool to hate on NVIDIA? Listen, I think everything's in flux and changing. But I think for a period, especially when they were more of a gamer-only company, and we're winning, it's just easy to hate on the market leader. If people didn't want clickbait, they wouldn't have clicked it. So facts. Do you think NVIDIA should work with them? They do work with them, still work with them, and will always probably work with them as long as he's got a channel. They did before, during, and after. Not fake. not 4KE. Thank you for the nice message. Will you have a YouTube editor or not right now? I have multiple YouTube editors working right now. We're just getting a backlog going. But thank you for the support. Mopkins, thank you for the 18 months. Volatile Int, thank you for the 22 months. Goop, thank you for the 26. Shiznits, thank you for the 3. Replica, thank you for the 16. Bear Moans, thank you for the Prime. Gav, Dav, Paco Widos, Max, Kythus, Anonymous Goose. Hey, Atrioc, just got out of prison. Well, I'm happy to hear that, Gio. Hope you've reformed. Fave Apple takeaway, or say that for the wins and fails? Yeah, we'll talk about wins and fails. We're going to talk about Apple and more. We're talking about a lot of stuff. Lots to talk about today. Really, a lot of stuff. I don't think I'm even going to get to it all. I'm just going to talk about everything, and if I rant too long on one thing, we'll try to move to the next thing. Feel free to move me along. There's plenty of things in the world of business and marketing to talk about in this past week, or even 2. Yo, Big A, congrats on the successful hair plugs. Yeah, thank you so much. That's why I'm wearing the hat. What if instead of giving us Apple takeaways, you give us Apple turnovers? Travali, thank you for the 10 gifties. Go on. Interesting. So you're saying instead of doing the normal show where I talk about possible marketing or business takeaways from Apple's announcement, I just somehow mail you guys each Apple turnovers? I love pastries. Let's do that. All right, here's what we'll do. Everyone just... No, I was going to say... Everyone in chat, just post your full address and a list of your greatest fears. And we will we'll get it sent to you. Thoughts on the Jenna Ortega smoking controversy? No. No. Don't know what it is. Don't care. No. Don't ask. Oh, this guy lives in Suggin, USA. Really? Where is Suggin in the USA? That's your address? 9908 China Lane. Oh, gee. Great. I'll be hearing from you later. Wait, I need was there anything that I wanted to mention about the great nation of China? I don't think so. Just making sure. Yeah, okay. I think we're good. Yeah, I got it all. Okay, great. Save it for What's Up Beijing? No, of course. Come on, dude. You know what I'm doing here. I'm not going to just... never open with the China stuff. That's like putting the milk and the eggs in the front of the grocery store. Everyone just comes in and gets the staples and leaves. You put the What's Up Beijing at the back, dude. That's the real juice. At me, when do we get this thing started, Big A? I kind of just want to ban you. I want to start immediately, but I want to ban you. Don't fucking ask, dude. We start when we're done bantering when I got everything set up. Piece of shit. Luzmu, thank you for the sub. Holy fuck, that's why eggs are so far away. Oh, you never knew that? Yeah, they put the milk and the eggs and all the staple groceries in the back of the store so that you have to go past all of the more fun, high margin stuff. And that's why they're always in the back. When are you gonna... That's fucked, but also genius? Yeah, I mean, it's not really fucked. Dude, of all of the things you know, that large businesses have perpetrated on the public, that's fucked. That's too far for you? You have to walk 10 extra steps for the milk? That seems so benign. That's like very regular, like a fucking mom and pop shop might do that. I feel like, you know, polluting the environment and offloading the cost on taxpayers while they make a quick buck, that could be something to get mad about. But wait till no wonder my dad's taking so long. Yeah, dude, I got news for you. I don't think your dad's still at the store because it's got the milk in the back, bro. I don't think that's it. I feel like he may be. Well, you never know. You never know. I'm not gonna. Who am I to judge? You know. Although I was talking to your mom last night, and she seemed like it was unlikely he was returning. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's what I talked to her because we chat. Octocore, I am banning you. Fuck off, little bitch. Tell me to move along, bro. Fuck, I don't know the numbers in front of your name. Oh, you're so lucky. I just fucking banned a guy named Octocore, but it wasn't you because that guy has 0 chat messages. Oh, say one word, Octocore, and it's fucking on site. You told us to move you along after I start, not before. Usually we wouldn't start till 8, dude. I'm fucking... Bunch of narcs in here. Atrioc. It's fine. Narcs. It's fine, narcs. It's fine. It's more of a message, you understand? It's like, you know, you throw the little fish back so that it entices the big whale shark to come forward, and then you harpoon it. Does that make sense? Are you guys following? Let me cook. It's like the Joker. If that makes any sense. I like the one guy that just fucking all caps types "the Joker baby," because that means you were ready. The second I said Joker, you weren't really thinking about the context or what was going on. You just instantly to your keyboard typed "the Joker baby." It was almost like a fucking Pavlovian response, and it would be interesting to know more about what's going on in your brain. It's like asking chat who likes anime and then banning all of them. Yeah, well, I've done that with furries. I think we've managed to eliminate many weebs and many furries, but it's forever a struggle. It's like I don't know. It's like trying to kill all germs. You know, you just can't do it. They just keep coming back. It's a virus. It's like Sisyphus. I just keep rolling that boulder up the hill. And if anything, over time, the number of both weebs and furries has gotten bigger. So the boulder's only gotten stronger. It's fine to hate anime likers now since it's so mainstream and popular. You have kind of a warped worldview in that the quality of something has no bearing on whether or not you can like it or not. Only whether or not it's popular. I feel like that's going to leave you a lot of pain because you're always going to be mad about whatever's popular, and something will always be popular. Can't punch down. Actually, I can. Most anime viewers are short. I can just, like, if it was basketball fans, usually have to punch up. But with weebs, easy, bro. Dr. Battle, I literally tower over you. And I don't want to bring that up in a negative way, but I literally and figuratively tower over you. More like anime. Okay, Jesus Christ. Actually, research shows anime enjoyers at tall. You spelled everything wrong in that sentence and then put a nerds like you were actuallying me. You spelled anime wrong. You spelled it Anomie, bro. You're not even close. You're not even close. You gotta go back to the beginning. You gotta watch less anime. Giga Chad doesn't care about spelling. Giga Chad language is fluid. Okay. Does it seem like perhaps you guys use Giga Chad too liberal, Kekona, when it's someone who is disagreeing with me? Do you ever get the sense that you only give them Giga Chad status because it is something that I'm... No, that doesn't cross your mind at all? Okay. So if I were to misspell something, you wouldn't make fun of me. You would say Giga Chad language is fluid, right? You're consistent. Let's find out. Okay. The left doesn't want you to know this. Misspell something and we'll prove it. Okay. Let's try it right now. Let me add a text box. Hi, chat. How is it going? Boomer, illiterate, can't spell, idiot. Wow, can't even spell. Most illiterate ASU grad. Bro misspelled going. LOL, this idiot cannot spell. Can't spell. Gonig, you coffee drinking ass. Dementia. Literally a fraud. LOL, read a book. What is he, a third grader? Genuinely dumb as bricks. Language may be fluid, but this one is too far. Okay. Seems fair. Okay. Whew. Seems fair. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I need you to put on your game faces. I need you to get ready to do the one thing I ever ask you to do. And that is to take your pointer finger, aim it at the screen, and tag yourself in the Marketing Monday intro, because it's time to talk wins and fails. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marketing Monday on a Tuesday, June 6th, 2023. Welcome back to the world of Marketing Monday, where we cover the wins and fails in the last week of marketing and business. And boy, howdy, have there been a lot of them. Now, we could open with a lot of different things. We could talk about what's going on with Twitch, which is probably interesting because it could affect the idea of marketing itself on the platform. We could talk about what's going on with Apple, which is a $3 trillion company doing some pretty insane things to bet the future of their business. Or we could talk about something that every Zoomer on Twitch cares about the most. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is golf. Our opening win and fail is a massive, massive fail to the PGA Tour, which has just merged with the LIV Tour. Let me explain why this is such an interesting fail. If you don't care about golf, you're going to have no idea what's going on. I don't care about it either. I dived in to explain it to you. A few years ago, there was only one golf tour, the PGA Tour, and they had all of the top players. Then Saudi Arabia used their Saudi Arabia Future Investment Fund, which is basically a ton of oil money funded by the Saudi government, to create their own golf league that offered absurd, think of it like Mixer, where they offered Ninja $60 million. Well, think about it more like $600 million for top golf players. So they made their own league and started poaching all the best players. And for a long time, the PGA took a real emotional stance against this. They said, this is blood money. Saudi Arabia is stealing our best players with blood money. And we are patriots, and we will not stand for this. And they shamed every single player that took the deal. There was like mass hate campaigns against them. They said they were basically part of 9/11. They said every golf professional who went to this is a traitor. And in fact, I found an old video, not even that old, like probably 8 months old, from the CEO of the PGA. Let me pull this up here real quick. Sorry, 1 second. Right. This is right here. Wait, close that. That's all my stock. Wait, I found. There it is. Okay. Dude, why am I have too many things. Close this. Close this. Okay. Sorry, I found it. Here it is.
Let me ask about this. There was a story that was first reported in the New York Post yesterday by Brian Wacker about
This guy on the left is the CEO of the PGA Tour, and he was going on a press tour to basically shame everyone who had left his league to join the Saudi Arabian League.
Talked to a number of players individually for a long period of time. And I think you'd have to be living under a rock to not know that there are significant implications. And as it relates to the families of 9/11, I have two families that are close to me that lost loved ones. And so my heart goes out to them. And I would ask, any player that has left or any player that would ever consider leaving, have you ever had to apologize for being a member of the PGA Tour?
Powerful stuff. To be honest, he has a strong point. Okay? There are a litany of human rights abuses linked to the Saudi Arabian government, and maybe taking their oil money is not a great thing. Unless, of course, it gets offered to you. Because as of today, LIV Golf and the PGA Tour have merged, with LIV having what appears to be a controlling stake, meaning Saudi Arabian oil fund now basically controls all of golf. The global golf, and that very same guy is on a press tour talking about how great it is. Let me see if I can find the exact clip. Yeah, here it is. Here it is.
I mean, you're describing a scenario under which PIF at some point could have the majority of the economics, correct me if I'm wrong, of this entity. Essentially, the Saudis people will say, they control golf around the world.
People will say the Saudi Arabian government now controls golf around the world. What do you say to that, Jay? Who had the whole speech about 9/11 and everything? What do you say to that?
I'm just curious as to what you think the response is going to be.
Well, listen, a lot of people have been reading about the tension, and that we've talked a lot. And I said previously that we were going down our path, they were going down theirs. And today,
that's not what you said.
That tension goes away. The litigation is dropped. We're announcing to the world that on behalf of this game, we're coming together. And it's less about how people respond today, and it's all about how people respond in 10 years. And when they see the impact that we're having on
when you have retired with a massive payout. No, I get that. That makes total sense.
This game together, there will be a lot of smiles on people's faces, and there'll be a lot more people playing this game all over the world. And if you're a young player that wants to get to the highest level of the game today, you'll be more inspired than you've ever been before.
Wow, I do think the Gen Z fans of golf are more inspired than they've ever been to pick up the game. Now that we got Saudi blood money in it, it finally feels like we were healed from 9/11, I think. I think this is the moment. And, if you want to figure out who to feel bad for, there's not really, other than the 9/11 families who were trotted out as part of a promotional anti-LIV campaign and then now feel betrayed totally by this guy and with PGA. But the person you could feel slightly bad for, even though they're already very wealthy, is Tiger Woods. Because it turns out Tiger Woods, who was told, you got to keep your history, you got to be part of the PGA, we have your records, we have all of that, was offered and turned down an $800 million deal to join LIV, which would have been for just a few months. I mean, he could have got the ultimate ninja times 10, which is go somewhere else, it folds or merges, and then you get it all back. He turned this down, and many other players similarly were so afraid of being shamed, they turned down huge deals, then were not included in talks about this merger, and were blindsided about it today, and are furious. This guy Jay met with this guy Jay met with the players today and was apparently, it got very heated. Somebody openly called him a fucking hypocrite to his face. Pretty interesting stuff. So let's give a big fail to fucking Snake Jay over here for flipping the script on the entirety of the high ground morals he was talking about. But again, relatively small story in the grand scheme of things. In a zoomed out look at every single story we're going to talk about today, there really is only one story that matters because there's only one company that is worth more than basically every other company combined right now, and that is Apple. And Tim Cook's brutal feud with Mark Zuckerberg that is heating up to an extraordinary degree. Yesterday, Apple announced their new Reality Vision Pro, an augmented reality headset that will directly compete with Mark Zuckerberg's vision for the metaverse and his Quest headset that he has pivoted the entire company into only like 2 years ago. And I want to talk about this rivalry real quick because this rivalry is really sort of the heart of the story. It seems like over the past few years, Tim Cook of Apple has been hell-bent on ripping apart Mark Zuckerberg's business, life, and everything he loves. It started with the ad business, which is the core of how Meta makes money. Again, this is their feud. You see, Facebook stock early last year, had its largest one-day drop ever. We talked about it on this channel. And people asked why. And the answer was because Apple had shifted their platform to block basically ad targeting from Meta so that Facebook could no longer do the same ad targeting on iOS they used to, which cost them a huge part of their business. And Facebook did a massive drop in value, which has only recently started to recover from. And Zuckerberg completely had his ad machine broken. But he had a plan. Mark Zuckerberg knew this was coming. He knew Apple owned the rails. He knew that he could make a new path, a new future. And that was by changing the entire name of his company to Meta and spending $40 to $50 billion pivoting the company towards a new future where they owned the rails, where they were going to build a headset that everybody was going to use to experience the internet, and then phones weren't going to matter, and Apple was going to be in the dust. This was the big plan. This is what Zuckerberg's been hoping to do, to get out from under Apple's thumb. And look how happy he is on launch day. Look how happy he is. Now, flash forward a few months, and user acquisition is incredibly low. People aren't using it. People that buy it aren't even using it. Sales aren't what they need to be. And this image gets memed more than anything I've ever seen get memed from a CEO, basically ever. So, even with all that, he figures, okay, maybe it's too early, and he pivots back. They stop spending so much in the metaverse. They focus all in on selling ads to boomers on Facebook, and Facebook stock starts to rebound. Look at this. This is the past 6 months of Facebook stock. A full-on rebound from the lows because they stopped spending money on the metaverse and started working on this. And then yesterday, Tim Cook said, nah, it is good though. Nah, we're going to do it. And they came out with a whopping $3,500 machine with all of the Apple bells and whistles, all of the marketing, and early predictions by Bank of America, which again, these are all early estimates, say that while adoption's not going to be massive out of the gate, this is an extremely expensive niche, high-end consumer product, it is projected to sell more than the Quest in its first year. Even with a price tag that is like 7 times. Yikes! So, Tim Cook has taken 2 things from Mark Zuckerberg, but Mark Zuckerberg's a fighter. He may be a robot, he may not have emotions, but he's a fighter. And so he starts training up because he knows the only way this ends is with physical combat. Okay? He does what is called the Murph Challenge, which is like run a mile, do 100 pull-ups, 300 push-ups, 400 squats, run a mile again. And he does it in nearly record time. This is not a joke. I mean, unless he's lying. But he says publicly that he competed the Murph Challenge in like 38 minutes, which would put him in like a top 5 CrossFit time for the year. Interesting. And he gets super into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This is him slamming his nutsack on somebody's face. Probably Evan Spiegel of Snapchat, if I had to guess. And so that's why I think the next thing we're going to see is fucking Tim Cook, bro. Based on previous patterns, I think Tim Cook is going to lay out Mark Zuckerberg's candy ass any fucking day now. That's where I think this is headed. But again, speaking of the Murph thing real quick, pretty much there's a lot of controversy that he might have faked it. Because I do agree he's probably in good shape and he's got great trainers, but doing that level of squats, pull-ups, push-ups in 39 minutes puts him in like an elite category of hyper athletes, which I mean, look at him. I mean, maybe. I don't think so. Plus, he's 40. I mean, he's a CEO, ostensibly. I don't think that he made it. But that doesn't really matter. What does matter is something that I think is a little bit broader than what everyone here is talking about. Listen, there's a lot to say about Apple's announcement. Oh, God, 1 second. Let me fix my mic. Don't boomer me. This is cool. There, it's fixed. My ears, I'm deaf. Okay. So again, there's a lot you can say about Apple's announcement. I think there's many channels that can cover, like MKBHD is going to tell you whether or not the product is good. From what I can tell, it looks pretty cool. It's very, very expensive. They're doing their general default strategy of roll it out expensively at first to high-end early adopters who are willing to pay anything. Okay? So they make a huge fat margin on the early ones, and they use that money and that early momentum to make a cheaper product that is more mass appeal as they ramp up the amount of software and stuff made for it. It's a pretty good strategy. It seems like they've got a good plan ahead. What I'm more interested in is the fact that Apple currently is one of basically 7 companies that is holding up the entire economy. That is more interesting to me. And this is Apple's big bet on its future. Right now, the entire S&P 500, there's like 493 of them that are doing pretty bad, flat to down. And there are 7 companies that are driving all of the returns. All the money is flying to these 7 companies to hopefully find some kind of safety. And that is a risky and dangerous spot to be in. It reminds me of before the tech bubble burst in 2001. And if you are somebody, probably not somebody in this chat, maybe, but some of you, if you're working and you're putting contributions to your 401k, a lot of it goes to diversified portfolios that include stuff like this. And basically what we're saying is that the success of this headset is what your parents' retirement fund depends on. If this headset actually super flops and Apple stock takes a big dive, other companies will dive with it. Apple is kind of a bellwether for the market. And nothing else is holding this market up. All of these 7 companies have to keep crushing earnings after earnings to keep this momentum going because we are stalling. Things are starting to sputter. And I want to talk about that a little bit because Apple did hit an all-time high right before this announcement. And it has dropped a little bit, but it's still very high. If this turns out to be a bad sign, if this thing hits and it's just got no adoption and they've got no other plans other than to sell new iPhones every year, the slowed growth will lead to a big drop. So, and again, early analysts say few buyers, but this is still more than Meta. And that's the beginning phase. It's fine. But I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about this. The fact is there are a lot of blinking red lights in this economy that make me a little spooked. And I'm not going to be super doomer here. I've made my predictions in my predictions video, which I still stand by. But a couple things. So, again, shipments of cardboard boxes usually are a leading indicator of a recession. This happened, again, 2008. So it's happening right now because people use these to ship goods. People are shipping less goods. Recession indicator. This is a combination of all these different things. When it hits the blinking red line, danger. We're bouncing on it right now. We are tap dancing on this red line. Recession indicator. Costco CEO in an earnings call basically said that every time they've seen customers start to shift from buying expensive beef and pork to inexpensive chicken, it's a big sign of a recession. And it's happening right now. Okay? Interesting. So I'm looking at all these things. There's things like RV returns, increase in repo men, people not be able to pay their credit card bills. All this stuff is blinking. It's flashing red, getting worse. And because 7 stocks are doing really well, we're kind of just ignoring it. We're kind of going la, 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 la. But it does seem to me like we're in a danger zone and we're all resting on the hope of Apple continuing to crush it. But that's neither here nor there. I want to bring that up because I think it's interesting and what's more compelling to me about the Reality Vision Pro. We'll follow up when we hear more. Now, something a little more fun. I want to give a nice big colossal win to whoever was hired to hunt down Shaq for the FTX lawsuit because they got him again. Shaq keeps trying to dodge getting served in this FTX lawsuit. And whoever is hired to find him has done it twice now. They got him. And I want to go into this a little bit. I really want to explain this a little bit more. So Shaq did an ad. It looked like this, where he said he was all in on FTX. He said, FTX is my home for crypto and I'm all in. And his argument nowadays that he shouldn't be liable for anything about the fraud is that he was a paid spokesperson and nothing to do with it. And Shaq is a very charismatic person. Everyone kind of likes Shaq. And I think it's not too crazy of an argument. You took the money. How could you know? Okay. But then I saw this clip.
People look at them as endorsements. I look at them as partnerships. Oh, I'm very picky. If I'm not in tune to the product, or if I don't like the product, I won't do it. I always tell a story about after I won my first championship, Wheaties wanted me to be on the cover. Never ate Wheaties, so I turned them down. Second ring championship, same thing. I say, hey, breakfast of champions, I know who you are, but I never eat Wheaties, I can't do it. And then I told my people, call Frosted Flakes or Fruit Loops, I'll be on the cover of that. So I've turned a lot of deals down because I'm an old school guy.
You're an old school guy.
I'm on the handshaking principles. So I don't want to take your money if I'm not really in tune to what you're selling. Think about it. Gold bar. Everybody needs lotion, right? All these hard-working American people, your back gets sore, icy hot. Everyone needs home security, right? Everyone needs affordable car insurance. That's why I go to General.
And everybody needs crypto! FTT token! Thank you for thinking of the hard-working American, Shaq. I do appreciate that. But it does seem to have a little bit of hypocrisy. It does seem to throw a bit of a catch-22 in what you were saying. And it makes it worse. Because we mentioned this before, but it does bear repeating. Taylor Swift. Oh, my ad blocker. No. Taylor Swift literally asked the normal question, is this securities fraud? Are these unregistered securities? And didn't take the deal. And so she kind of makes every other celebrity who took it look bad because she asked a pretty basic question that any lawyer advising her would take, and they couldn't answer it, and so she didn't take a $100 million deal. And so I do think, while they're not clearly the main villains here at any stretch of the imagination, celebrity partners like Shaq should face some kind of fine or repercussion and should at least have to give back the money they made from it, because the precedent it would set to require a world where we have more and more influencers showing more and more products to do the basic amount of due diligence before pushing this to their fan base, I think is good. I think it's a good one. So that's what I'm following with. I give a win to whoever hunted Shaq down. Now, speaking of that, let's talk about Twitch's ad guidelines. Speaking of ads, speaking of partnerships, let's talk about something where Twitch wants to get involved. This morning, a guy named Zach Bussey, sorry if I'm butchering her name, just took a look at Twitch's TOS, which has been updated. They didn't announce this. This is completely like stealth under the radar, but this guy Zach found it. Their new branded content guidelines, which basically said logos on stream have to be limited to 3% of screen size. You can no longer have burned in video ads. Basically a ton of rules designed to limit the ability of creators to have their own ad partnerships on stream. And the goal of it was obvious. They have fucking pictures. Whatever they say later, the goal of it is obvious. They want to control and get a cut of ad sales that are happening on their platform. It's very obvious. Twitch does still not make a profit. Twitch, first they had subs, right? And they cut the sub split from 70-30 to 50-50 because they want to make more off that. Then they saw that donos were happening on PayPal and TTS. And they're like, we want to cut of that. So they made bits. Now they see a lot of creators are making their money off sponsorships. Now Twitch has its own ad sales team. I've worked with them when I was at Twitch. Oh, and as a partner. It's the people that do Twitch Rivals and all of that. And big brands go to Twitch and they pay them money. Twitch takes a big cut and they pay some of it out, Twitch Rivals, and to creators. They have the bounty board where you can, if you're Warner Brothers, you give Twitch a bunch of money and they split it up amongst all the creators. And Twitch wants everybody to be using that. But of course, big creators don't want to do that. They want to make their own thing and get 100% of the cut. Now, the way they went about it here is so incredibly stupid. Imagine having a bounty board. When will these content creators realize that corporations deserve all of the income? I know, it's crazy. Every day I wake up and I think I'm so lucky that Jeff Bezos gives me 50% of my subs. I wake up and I just feel blessed. Now, here's the thing. Here's the insidious thing, though. This already really happens on every single platform that has an algorithm. Outside of live video, so like YouTube Live, because they can't monitor it yet. But let me give you an example. On TikTok, I've worked with them as a brand. They won't tell you this, but if you are a TikToker and you get your own sponsorship directly and you put hashtag ad or hashtag sponsored in your post, that shit gets deprioritized to 0. Nobody will see that shit. Okay? They fucking freeze it up. But if you go through TikTok's brand team and get one of those codes, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. You get a TikTok creator marketplace code and you link it to your post so it gets that actual little sponsored tag. Let me see if I can find one of an example. Oh, God. Goodness gracious. Wait. Here. So this should work. Oh, man. TikTok's fucking web client is so shit. Okay, well, I found an ad in my TikTok. It had a little sponsored logo in the bottom right, but it doesn't say hashtag ad. One thing you'll notice is that if you do it officially through TikTok and you hire their internal team and they connect you with a brand, you get the sponsored tag on there, but it still gets normal or even boosted inclusion in feeds. This is some guy shilling a course. Does it play? Yeah, TikTok's web plan sucks ass, dude. Anyway, there was a Domino's TikTok ad that I didn't realize was an ad until 10 seconds into it. Yeah, they just hide it. And so if you're a brand and you want to work with a big TikTok creator, the best way to do it is to go through TikTok and they get their cut. We did it with NVIDIA. They got us like 10 big creators and they all got NVIDIA laptops and made videos and shit. And you couldn't do it without going through TikTok. It's much more difficult. And so that is what Twitch is trying to do. That is whatever they say they're trying to do, that's what they're trying to do, is they want to cut. And let's see if Twitch, we can read their response today. So they said, again, today's branded content policy update was overly broad. This created confusion and frustration, and we apologize for that. We did not intend to limit streamers' ability to... So they backed off. Basically because the hero, I mean, for many reasons, but the fucking Shakespearean poet over at OTK wrote this. I don't know who the fuck Miskiff and Kuro got to write this, because it's fucking ridiculous. It doesn't sound like OTK at all. Every so often, we find ourselves catching an unsolicited glimpse of our own reflection. This blunt collision with reality serves as a brutal but necessary reminder that our existence, while beautiful at times, is temporal. And the decisions we made yesteryear will inevitably catch up to us, despite our best efforts to the contrary. Today, decisions have caught up quickly. What the fuck kind of chat GPT ass thing is this? Bro, you're 100% in the right. They are so in the right to be mad at Twitch, but the way they wrote this is so funny. The once unique and admirable vision of a creator-first platform now feels like a fading and distant dream. Anyway, they did threaten to walk. OTK as a whole instantly said we will walk from Twitch if this goes through. And that's obviously going to scare Twitch. End of the day, that's a big organization of creators. And any policy you create that instantly has, fucking 20 of your biggest creators threatening to walk is a bad. So they walked it back and they said they missed the mark. And again, I would be inclined to believe them. If wait, I gotta find it. If they hadn't said it so many times before, we missed the mark on this Minecraft Legends inspired image. We missed the mark on Hispanic Heritage Month. We missed the mark on this policy language. It just feels like they're always missing that mark. Not very good marksmen over at Twitch. And so overall, if I had to pick one thing that was a fail from all of this, it's something I think we can all agree is bad. And that is VTuber journalism. I'm sorry to say it, Fillion, but you had an interview with the CEO of Twitch just a few days ago. This is CEO Dan Clancy with Fillion in an hour-long interview. And all we walked away with was that Dan Clancy seems pretty cool. We didn't get anything to unearth that he might in fact be thinking about cutting off all ad revenue. It's like the Morbius interview. Yeah, perhaps. No actual knock on Fillion. The guy didn't fucking say anything truthful, but I heard about this. I think I saw a clip of it and I was like, yeah, he seems like he's a fun guy. He seems more in tune than the last guy. And then the next day they launched this. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But overall, it does remain to be seen. Obviously, they walked back temporarily, but there's no way they're going to stop trying to get a bigger and bigger cut of everything that happens in their platform because Twitch is hungry for revenue. Twitch is looking every which way to find a way to make more money out of the current creators. Basically because Twitch is not currently growing. Twitch peaked with 2021 in the lockdown and is not declining rapidly, but is on a slow drip down. The number of viewers on Twitch is a steady but small decrease ever since. And so they have to find a way to squeeze more out of the current stone until some other thing comes along that grows the company again. What would the FGC2 have just passed? Yeah, I mean, again, so many events rely on having built-in ads they sell themselves. They wouldn't be able to run. I think more directly, though, Twitch didn't think this would be a huge deal because they weren't actually going to enforce it on individual creators. What they were going to do is have it in the rules so they always have a leg up, and they can tell brands that the only safe way is through us, scare brands. And then number two, they really want to fuck off Stream Elements. Stream Elements has been doing Twitch's job way better than them. I am a person who has used Stream Elements for brand deals. And what they do is they find all the deals for you. They get you a great cut. They do the overlays themselves. They build them right into your stream. We did it with Minions. Do you guys remember the Minions full fucking screen ad? All of that was handled by Stream Elements. They have a guy who handles everything for you. All you have to do is do the stream, and you get a big cut. That is what Twitch wants to kill. They're not so worried about one-off creators finding a NordVPN deal or whatever. They're worried about Stream Elements basically beating them at their own game. And I'd say the solution to that is to do your job better, Twitch. Do a better job, and then everyone will use you anyway. But that's hard. Also, things that weren't walked back in the changes. Things that weren't walked back in the changes. This. Twitch is reverting back to net 45 payout terms, essentially delaying all paychecks by 30 days. Just free money for Twitch. Again, time value of money. If you hold on to money longer before paying, it's worth more to you. That's fucking whack. A lot of streamers rely on paycheck to paycheck. Now they have to wait even longer for their subs. This fucking sucks. Affiliates have to pay $25 to exit their contract. So they just take it out of your money, by the way. Like they'll just, if you try to leave Twitch for whatever reason in your contract, they will just take the money out of your pay. And Turbo got raised. Again, it's all part of the general idea that Twitch is trying to squeeze more money from the same amount of viewers. And they're looking for any way they can do that to get profitable. What the fuck is Turbo? It's a way to avoid ads. It's actually kind of based, but the overdraft fee of Twitch. Now, the problem is, and the problem for me is the competition is either YouTube, which takes massive cuts as well of all of the ad revenue on YouTube and has had many dumb decisions over the years with content moderation and censoring of videos, and you can't say fuck in the first 30 seconds or you get demonetized and your entire channel gets... They have tons of problems. So it's YouTube and Twitch both competing to be fucking terrible places to stake your future as a content creator. And the other ones are like Kick and Rumble. The other ones are Kick and Rumble, dude. And I just don't know if I feel comfortable over on Kick and Rumble. I did see that the official channel of Kick, which is Kick Streams Live Globe Icon, tweeted that today Mr. Beast followed them and is thinking about doing a stream for fun to protest Twitch. Yeesh! How bad do you have to fuck up on Twitch to get Mr. Beast to randomly do a Kick stream? That's a dub for Kick, bro. Do you know how much it costs to get Mr. Beast to do a promo for your fucking video fucking platform? This is insane. Mr. Beast doing it for free? That is like Twitch gave $60 million to Kick. That shit's absurd. That shit's absurd. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to give fails all around. I want to just chuck a big pile of fails onto the whole industry right now. It feels insane. And I'm hoping we can find a way for creators to be able to make more of what they earn, a higher percentage of what they earn, and make a living doing this, because it is becoming more and more of like a actual, I don't know about long-term career path, but a way people can make and support their families. Basically a job. And with that, I'd like to do a quick ad. Today's sponsor of Marketing Monday I'm going to break the rules. I'm going to break the rules today. Today's sponsor of Marketing Monday. Wait. Try and stop me, Dan Clancy, because the people deserve to know about this amazing product. Today's Marketing Monday sponsor. Introducing the all-new limited edition Wappenheimer. A burger so impactful it'll create a shockwave in your taste buds. This is not just a culinary treat, it's an homage to one of history's most revolutionary figures. Like Oppenheimer's unprecedented work on the atomic bomb, the Wappenheimer is a game changer, a nuclear fusion of flavors set to ignite a taste explosion. 2 fiery flame-grilled patties represent the raw energy of splitting atoms. Experience the crunch. Oh, sorry, very loud. Experience the crunch of atomic onion rings. Or the soft as a mushroom cloud bun. And a top secret special sauce that brings the explosive heat just like a nuclear core. And just when you thought the blast radius couldn't get any bigger, there's more. Each Wappenheimer comes with a coded message hidden in the packaging. Decrypt the code on the Burger King website for an exclusive peek into the secretive world of the Oppenheimer movie and win a chance to get premiere tickets and a meet and greet with the cast. The Wappenheimer isn't just a meal, it's a journey through history. A salute to an era that reshaped our world. Remember, with the Wappenheimer, you're not just having a meal, you're having a blast. Wow! Eat your heart out, Dan Clancy. Sorry we have good ads here on Marketing Monday. You'll never take that from us. Did you get the same guy who wrote OTK's message to that? Yeah, I got him. He's the best. Let's keep going with the wins and fails, though. Fucking the hits keep coming. Speaking of food, I got some food for you. Food for thought. What do you get when you take $450 million from Japanese investment firm SoftBank and try to create robot pizza makers in a van on the go? $0. You get $0. Zoom, after just a few years, raising $500 million, is out of business because it turns out when the vans move around, the cheese get loose and falls off. And no robot could fix that. So nobody used this stupid fucking product. What an absolute waste of money. But I want to give a huge fail to the fucking lack of vision over at SoftBank. Because if they just given them $1 billion more, I'm sure we could have got there. If only they had the balls to put their money where their heart is and give them just a few $100 million more. I bet we could have got there and had amazing, delicious robot pizza delivered right to our door. We were so close. Do you think the U.S. copped out when they were investing in Oppenheimer's nuclear bomb experiment? No. And that's why today we have the Wappenheimer. So that's a fail. But maybe you can relate to the idea of working at a place that doesn't believe in you. Maybe you can relate to feeling squeezed a little bit by your workplace environment, to feeling like They're not betting on your future, that the culture is off at the company you work for, that the vibes are off. Well, I've got a win for you. I've got a solution. Ketamine retreats. A new trend of workplace ketamine that is taking some Silicon Valley companies by storm. The idea of using ket in a guided office retreat is supposed to increase workplace vibes and improve culture. And while it sounds great, for about 45 minutes, you'll completely surrender to the experience. You might feel like you're floating out of your body or not even aware of where you are. That sounds great at a workplace surrounded by coworkers and your boss. But it turns out, they say later in the article, that they recommend doing it individually on the retreat because they've had people say things they don't really mean to coworkers while under the influence of ket. So anyway, it sounds like a good idea. Tell your boss. Tell your boss he needs to pay for a workplace ket retreat. Another big win. Vehicle theft is on the rise. Okay? Vehicle theft is on the rise. But I want to give a huge win to carjackers because despite the fact they've been stealing more vehicles than ever before, the government has decided the main people at fault are Kia and Hyundai. Because they made their cars too easy to steal. And New York City is joining a number of other cities in suing Kia and Hyundai for direct compensation that goes right to the city. Not to the people who lost their cars, because they made their cars too easy to steal. This is real, true, and based. Honda stays on top. Yeah, baby. Honda gang, baby. Honda gang. So that is what's going on with that. And then one more thing. Speaking of cars, speaking of cars, I want to talk about how the Saudi blood money fund, the Saudi Vision Fund, stays fucking winning, dude. Because it turns out that a few years ago, the entire city of Chicago sold all of the revenue from all of its parking meters for the next 75 years to the Saudi fund. And they bought it for only $1.16 billion. And it's already paid for itself. There's 61 years left on it. And it's already paid for itself. How fucking stupid of a city do you have to be to sell that much of your future for $1 billion now? How desperate do you need money right that moment? So literally, municipal revenues of American cities are now revenue generators for Saudi Arabia. What a dub, dude. What a dub. Not a penny of these revenues go to ease the burden of Chicago taxpayers. The revenue on this thing is skyrocketed. It's made $136 million just last year. And again, they've already made $500 million profit and there's 61 years left. That's so funny. And the rates are going up. The tolls keep going up and none of that money's even going to the city. So everyone in Chicago was be like, wow, these parking meters keep getting more expensive. It's not even going to it's going to Saudi Arabia. Oh, it's so fucking hilarious. Like, what? What a clusterfuck of errors. So we'll give that a big dub, though. Oil prints to parking meter prints. Yeah, wow. Now they got golf and parking meters. Big dub for Saudi Arabia. But just because Saudi Arabia is doing well doesn't mean all countries in Asia are doing well. And we have to take our gaze and end our wins and fails by looking to the Far East in a segment I like to call
What's up, Beijing?
What's up, Beijing? What's going on in China? What's going on with Xi Jinping? We haven't talked about them in a while, and I want to know. Well, unlike Saudi Arabia, China's actually doing pretty bad. It's been called a miserable May as Chinese stocks are not rebounding. The idea of the big post-COVID open up Chinese economy bounce back has not materialized. China's having economically a pretty tough time. They're dealing with an overhang of massive debt that is weighing down all their local government provinces and is not clear how they're going to get out of it. Does feel like they're going to probably do what we did and print a bunch of money and maybe they'll have a huge stock market rally. We'll see. It's not 32 days, not 29 days. They're just having a really tough time rebounding. And the person most upset about it is this guy, Bernard Arnault, the guy who owns Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all that, because the Chinese people aren't buying enough. So he's visiting China to try and figure out how they can make sure that more luxury goods get into the hand of Chinese consumers. Please pray for him. This is the most important thing coming out of China. Additionally, Chinese debt, top risk in Asia. This is literally the big deal. I mean, the fact is, like, think of them like state governments. Imagine if every single state in America was like, not every single state, but almost everyone was deeply, deeply, deeply in debt and couldn't make the interest payments. Like, that's what China's dealing with, where the national government's actually doing fine, but the local governments are drastically overbuilt and overspent. That's the big problem with China. And again, the war with Taiwan, or the escalations around Taiwan, continue to slowly but surely heat up. Taiwan continues to build counterproductive measures, like finding a way to make sure it's not isolated from phone lines and internet if China were to cut them to try and isolate them during an invasion. Every single week, I seem to see a different story about, a little bit of a standoff in the Strait, where one of either China or America will sail a ship through it and the other one will get mad. So I don't know. There's a lot of tension there. Again, no major escalation, but it's hopefully someone can actually talk, because they haven't been talking very much, the United States and China. But finally, and most importantly, coming out of China is actually one more thing. There was this really weird story that was funny where apparently China has been hiring ex-German fighter pilots to teach them all of the strategies used by Germany and NATO. And Germany's pissed about it. Germany is extremely pissed about it and basically said you cannot spend, whatever, like $800,000 to hire somebody who flew for 30 years in the German military and go work in China. And Germany very rightly says, like, hey, what if we did that with China? What if we just hired Chinese fighter pilots? You would not be amused if we did something similar to get inside the Chinese military. And that's a pretty fair... And this guy basically said, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So we'll see. We will see. We will see if they will actually change their habits, but that's the situation. And finally, and most importantly, the biggest news out of China, and maybe out of the world, is that Xi Jinping is digging a big hole. Xi Jinping is drilling a 10,000 meter deep hole into the earth and has called for more underground exploration. What will he find? Only Xi Jinping knows. But I think we're all excited because a big hole is kind of fun. Why haven't we done that yet? What is Biden doing where we don't have our big hole? Apparently, it is for both exploration and, of course, to find any oil or natural gas. But it's incredibly deep, so I don't know. Maybe the goal is... Oh, I can't find the meme. Maybe... Oh, wait. They're digging to China? Maybe if you really look at it on a globe, the goal is to dig a hole right through the center of the earth to the Bellagio Casino in Las Vegas and rob the vault for big money, George Clooney style. Easy fucking money. Ocean's 14 featuring Xi Jinping. What a fucking awesome heist. What an awesome job. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what's going on in the world. That is Marketing Monday, and that is Wins and Fails. Thank you for watching. And tune in next week for more Wins and Fails. Pretty fun stuff. Ocean's 1.4 billion. Shark Tank? Yeah, I think so. Wait, what is Spectacore saying? Oh, I lost it. Sorry, Spectacore. I'm sure you said something cool. I'm thinking we watch Shark Tank. Is this going up on YouTube? Maybe, if we finish in time. Here's the image. Is there anything else, any questions in this we want to talk about? I try to move kind of fast. Oh, here's the image. Yeah. Yeah, I found it. Yeah, perfect. In case you needed 100% confirmation. Like, how about this pure... How about this map which proves it, okay? Now do you doubt me? Now that we have a fucking map proving the direct straight line? Don't forget the Arizona water controversy. What's this? Stream Elements? What do they say? Stream Elements sponsorships are 100% safe and compliant under Twitch's new guidelines. Brand logos under 3%. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, they have to adapt because Twitch can ban them or force them off as a platform. But, you know, that's not 100% true because I've used Stream Elements and I've gotten the full screen Minions takeover, which would definitely count as either burned in or a over large brand logo. So maybe they just changed it, but are there more interesting recession signals like the Bogdan? I mean, the biggest recession signals that aren't like in chart form are just like when times are good. One of the best ones I ever heard was from this old guy who's been trading for like 40 fucking years and was on this fucking hedge fund podcast I was listening to. And he basically said that his trick is he just looks at RV sales. Because when times are good, like 2021, RV sales are through the roof and they upcharge by a ton. And then when times are bad, RVs are the first thing sold. They're kind of useless. They're like a fucking, I mean, most people buy them just as a pure luxury item. And right now, RVs are getting repoed and returned at much, much higher rates. And so that plus like there's just raw data that credit card payments are getting harder and harder for most Americans to make. And that student loan debt, I didn't include this because I didn't want to be too depressing. Actually, I literally cut it for that reason because we had enough stuff. But like student loan debt is coming back. As part of the debt ceiling deal, people have to make student loan payments again. And that's like an average of like $300 a month per fucking student loan payer. And the data shows that when they got that reprieve, you know, when they lost the $300 payment a month, they just took on more debt. The average person just took on more debt and had more payments. And so once it comes back, they can't make all the fucking... It's just, nobody saved that extra money is what I'm saying. Or not nobody, but most people. And $300 a month, I was lowballing. It's actually higher for a lot. It's like closer to $600. And so, you know, I just don't see how that doesn't start becoming a real problem. And when we start seeing really mass repos, that's always a sign of like things have just gone off the deep end because the consumer can't keep up. Walmart has said their grocery prices are up 20% over the past 2 years. Like, you know, that's noticeable. So yeah, I don't know. It's just things I am not rosy at all on outlook. I do want to say wait, where was it? I didn't include this. Oh, I forgot to include this. Wait, one more thing. One more thing. I didn't include it. Why am I so stupid? I was supposed to be with the Shaq part. One more thing. I got to give a huge win to myself. A huge win to me. Because I said this. Every single meme die. Everything is going to zero. I think there's going to be a record number of public companies that literally go bankrupt in 2023, maybe early 24. Keep going. First up, Binance. Binance, in my mind, is really no different from FTX. Currently, they're bleeding assets. Customers are pulling out at a record rate. $12 billion were pulled out in the last 60 days. So in my mind, Binance is doomed this year at this rate. Coinbase is, I guess I was wrong. Because I said Binance is like FTX. But today, the SEC sued Binance. And it looks like Binance is FTX, but worse. And in fact, the SEC is currently, right now, as we speak, trying to freeze all of Binance's assets because they are trying to get them out of America and basically siphon them off before the fucking entire Ponzi collapses. Binance has been sued by the SEC for operating basically unregistered securities casino in fucking in America when they're not supposed to. Supposed to have no American customers, but they do. And what I found very interesting is that they've also been accused of wash trading, which there is deep, deep evidence that they do. I want to find gimme. I have to find this perfect chart. There is a perfect chart, and I'm going to find it. Oh. Just hold on for 30 seconds. It's actually so worth it to find. It will explain to you exactly what's going on. Oh my God, there's so much random crap that gets fucking flooded. Please tell me I saved it somewhere. Oh, maybe? Maybe this? Again, Binance has begun... maybe this guy? Let me see. Dude, I can't Oh, wait. Someone help me find this, dude. It's basically here. I'll just tell you guys. They'll tell me. All right. It's a chart of some crypto token on Binance, and it's trading normally, right? And then Binance was off for a day. They shut down trading, but they forgot to shut down the bots that auto trade when they're not doing anything, and it shows it going exactly in a straight line up. It goes from like normal trading, but then everybody else can stop trading, and then it starts going because all Binance does is they have a bot that runs on every fucking crypto token that trades it back and forth to make it slowly go up in price. And that's how they can keep this entire fucking Ponzi going. They have multiple accounts, they trade between them, and it's all fake. It's fake activity. And again, That's what I said back in fucking January. And now they have a quote from their fucking chief compliance officer. This is from the government. We are operating as a fucking unlicensed securities exchange in the USA, bro. They fucking found this quote in their internal documents. That is pretty open and shut. This is from the government. Dude, they made this graphic. This is the SEC going so fucking hard. We're charging Binance with a variety of securities law violations. The graphic designer's going crazy. So, again... and also Coinbase got some smaller but similar charges about a few of their tokens being unlicensed securities. So they're in trouble too. Again, the whole thing is looking like it's coming undone. And the crypto bros in the prize are losing their mind, but what are you going to do? It does seem like Binance is on the verge already of halting withdrawals. Once they halt withdrawals, it's over. They're going to try and get everyone on the inside to dump all the money, run with it like FTX did. No one else can get their money out. If you have money in Binance, take it out, bro. 100% take it out. If you can, you probably will not be able to. In before Binance was hacked. Yeah, exactly. All crypto bros have moved on to podcasts where they just yell at a table of women. Yeah. Crypto bros have moved on to fucking AI and then now probably the metaverse again with Apple and podcasts. What is this? What is this link? Did you find what I was looking for? Let's see if you did. Is this what I was looking for? Oh. What? Is this real or fake? This is probably fake, bro. Where's the source? This is a fucking random person. This is totally unrelated, but this guy says that Kai Cenat announces in his final Twitch stream that he signed with Kick for a $300 million deal for 10 years. First of all, I mean, I think unlikely. Second of all, this guy's, who is this guy? Scuba Ryan? Not associated with NBA Youngboy in any way. But even if remotely true, recognize that when you do a $300 million deal for 10 years, the platform has to survive 10 years for you to get paid. Remember when fucking... This is a 10-year deal too. This is a fucking 10-year deal too, bro. Now they had to fucking sell their fucking league team. This deal? Oh, fucking down. The fucking Miami Heat FTX deal was 19 years. Miami Heat got 1/19 of that, maybe. So be careful. You're going to sign a $300 million deal with Kick. Just rest assured, Kick's probably not going to be here in 10 years, bro. They're just trying to make gambling money while they can and get out. Out of curiosity, why would Chicago raise parking rates and not just make them a penny? They don't control it anymore. It's part of some contract deal they made that has regular rising rates or something to do with inflation. Why do they enforce them? I assume if they don't enforce them, they can get sued by Saudi Arabia. It's like probably fucking, it's all been written. Like Saudi Arabia pretty much dotted the I's and crossed the T's about this amazing deal for themselves. Can the federal government step in or no? I mean, as far as I can tell, it's a legal contract that the city of Chicago made. I mean, yeah, I guess they could break it, but it would cause other issues. The good solution would be a not taking the deal, bro. That's insane. They were so short-term minded. Oh, you found the chart? Thank God. Is this it? Oh, perfect. You it was Corey Clipston. I couldn't remember his name. Thank you. This is exactly what Charles was talking about. Okay, listen. Binance halted trading on this day, but left their bots running. And you can see it just slowly but surely fucking trickles up the price. This is when nobody could trade. No human beings were allowed to trade. And they have this bot running on every fucking token. In fact, this is a great one. They have a quote. They have a quote. This is their Binance. What was his job? He was chief comms officer at Binance. User protection has always been and still remains our top priority. And we will never aggressively trade against our users to their detriment. Fucking weasel words. We will never aggressively trade against our users to their detriment. He didn't say we don't trade against our users, because that's what they do. But how can it be aggressive? Define aggressive, bro. Only a little bit. Only a little bit. That's funny. Yeah, so that's fucking Binance, dude. They did the deal 14 years ago, so mid-housing crisis. That kind of explains it. So Chicago was during the housing crisis. They needed $1 billion fast, and they leveraged 75 years of their future for it. Good job. Good job. To Saudi Arabia, no less. Aiden Ross just leaked that Hassan is banned from ever joining Kick. I'm sure he's fucking pissed about it, bro. Thank you for telling me that. That's a big. Can we put that back in the wins and fails? Myop, oh, I gotta thank some subs. Thank you to all the subs during Marketing Monday. I do appreciate it. Myop Tort, thank you for 27 months. At this point, I've been sub for over 50% of my life. So you're 50 months old. Good luck in kindergarten. Pam Way, thank you for the 18 months. Crazy Steve, thank you for the 15. Only Solipsist, thank you for the 14. Masked Feather with the Prime. Black Octopus with the 16. Gals for Gravity, thank you for the 8. Zizzle Vazizzle, thank you for the 15. Kievyev, thank you for the 8. I'm a National Guardsman in Florida who was activated for the last Category 5 hurricane that hit us. When I was watching you on my iPad in a shelter, a soldier from another unit came up to me and said, "Is that the Glarketer?" Fucking cool, I guess. Fucking cool. That is based. Charles Wynn, thank you for the 4. Tech Tyrant, thank you for the 3. Air J Doge, thank you for the 15. Bit Duty Man, thank you for the 11. Bonkers with the 4. Robot Army with the 21. R Dubs with the 38. Noble Humongo Frog with the Prime. Tarns, My Name D's, Seabass, Nifty Fella, Strange, Alice, Darkin, Apple, Cyvoy, Phoenix Trite. Thank you all very much. I do appreciate it very much. I had one more thing I want to talk about. And it's very important. I also didn't include it. It's one more thing, but we'll just won't put it in the video. And that is, I've been talking about the writer's strike occasionally on this stream. And somebody, like every so often, actually pretty frequently recently, people will send me unsolicited Twitter or Discord DMs asking questions about things I talk about on stream. And often I will answer them because it's kind of fun if someone's actually interested. And so they will ask me these questions, and one other thing or two. And somebody asked me to follow up on something I said about the writer's strike negotiating with single studios. And they said that someone, aka Icarus, in the Ludwig Discord was calling cap on what I said. And that made me pissed because I know Icarus and he's calling cap on what I said. On what I said. Icarus thinks he can call cap on me. And then to prove his point, he linked a fucking like Hassan TikTok or something. I didn't watch it. Maybe it's good, but still, it's a fucking TikTok. And I'm like, this Icarus is flying too close to the sun. So I wanted to do a little double down and explain what the fuck I'm talking about. Because clearly that person didn't read anything about the last writer strike. So where's my fucking... here it is. Okay, so basically what I was saying is that... here, we can even draw it. Is this. So, you have writers. These are writers, okay? Writers. We want pay. The musician, but we also want to get paid well for our job. We want to have a living. We want to not be squeezed for every dollar. We don't want to be replaced with AI. We want to get a cut of the shows we make. And what the studios want is to negotiate with each of these writers individually. Okay? And that way, if somebody says, I want high pay, they can say, fuck you and go to this guy. But if the writers all unite into the Writers Guild, they can negotiate as one voice and they can't be split apart and they can actually get their demands. Now, the same thing is happening with the studios. So imagine it's Fox and it's fucking Disney and it's HBO and it's CBS, okay? And all of these companies realize that if they negotiate individually, they might lose. But if they unite into what's called, I think, like the MPATA or something, AMPTMP, yeah, AMPTMP, AMPTMP, and then negotiate as a cartel, and when they don't break ranks at all, and they all negotiate with one voice, then it becomes much harder for the writers to get what they want. Then it becomes a battle of almost who has more money. But this has always been true. This has always been true. And in 2007, this was also true. And yet, the writers found a way to break through it. So, let me show you. They came up with what's called... also, by the way, what... Just realize. What the studios are doing here is not technically 100% legal, in that if the Writers Guild wants to negotiate with them individually, they can demand it. They can do that. And that is what they did in 2007. And what they ended up doing was finding a few ways to break off from the big conglomerate. And they found, for example, David Letterman, where David Letterman was able to leave the strike early. He was able to start his show early. So Jimmy Kimmel came back on the air, no writers. Jay Leno came back on the air, no writers. David Letterman came back with writers early. And back in 2007, late night shows actually had some cultural relevance. And that is because WGA found David Letterman. They found CBS, which was more, again, remember this chart. Although these guys negotiate together, they have individual needs, wants, and fears that can be exploited. And in 2007, CBS had no reality TV and was very reliant on late night shows and scripted TV. Fox had American Idol and a bunch of reality shows. So Fox could wait a long time in 2007. They didn't need writers. So they didn't care as much. CBS cared. And so they kind of broke CBS off and allowed them to make the deal with Letterman. And that began making these guys pit against each other a little bit. That made them a little bit more uncertain. And that made, like, for example, Jay Leno kind of pissed that he didn't have writers and Letterman did. And that helped the writers in 2007 get some actual demands met. The main thing that caused the writers to not get everything they wanted in 2007, which is like rights to reality, rights to animation, was that the Directors Guild of America broke ranks early. And they always have. Directors Guild of America is way more on the side of the owners than the labor. Directors always seem to make the deal first. And then they kind of push everyone back to work. And they've done it just now. So again, 2 days ago, the Directors Guild of America just signed another deal. So they're not striking anymore. Or they never even were, but they never even started it. So the DGA is like way more on the side of the studios because they get big fat checks and they're only a few people. They're like allied here. So, like I've said, I'm very nervous for the writers' power in this situation. Because right now, this time, these guys aren't breaking ranks. They're staying very solid. They have a huge backlog of content. They have a ton of shows already made and more shows than the average user could ever watch. For example, I support the writers. I'm not going to watch a new show that gets made without writers. But even if no new shows get made for 2 years, I have to watch Succession. I have to watch Peaky Blinders. I have to watch Ozark. I have to watch... There's so many fucking shows I haven't watched that I won't even catch up in a long time. And that means these companies, which were already trying to cut costs, again, all of their stocks are up on the writer's strike because they're cutting costs. Wall Street loves that. These guys are so happy they don't have to pay writers right now. And so it makes me nervous for the writers because I think they're going to break first. I think they have the right cause. I believe in them, but I'm worried they're going to have bills to pay and mortgages. And I think the last writer's strike only lasted 100 days. And it was like immediately a problem because the studios weren't ready. But this time they're ready. They've stocked up. And they have big cash reserves and they're waiting. So I don't know. We'll see. That being said, one piece of good news happened. The Actors Guild, imagine like Gimli joining the fray or like a bunch of horses like Lord of the Rings. The actors, imagine Brad Pitt riding in. Okay? The actors voted to join the strike today. Okay? Which is awesome. Well, they're not joining the strike. They're having their own strike, but the Actors Guild is on strike for the same reasons, which is like, hey, you are clearly planning to digitize every actor and replace us with AI when we don't meet your demands. They clearly want to like lock in Brad Pitt's fucking face and features and voice and be able to make 40 movies with him at a low price. Like there's so many things they want to do. And also they're not giving nearly enough of a cut of, streaming-based shows and movies as they used to do for theatrical films. So the actors and the writers are in solidarity right now to try and get the studios to fucking give it up. And that makes me very happy because actors have a lot of clout. They carry a lot of sway. It's very hard to ignore their demands like they can with writers. And I think those two combined can hopefully get this over the finish line. But I just want to say to Icarus, fucking have some respect. I don't just say it for no fucking reason, Icarus. I did some research. Stupid ass. Okay. And that is that. That was my update. That's it. Okay, I think that's it. Can you talk about the LC situation? LC situation, listen, I don't want to talk about it because I will say something angry at Double Lift, who I think is an awesome guy and a guy I've always looked up to. But I don't like how Double Lift has handled the LCS player strike. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm not going to say anything else. Are YouTube videos coming back soon? Yeah, fairly soon. I have no exact date. I'm still working on stuff, but I started writing kind of what I wanted to say for like my update video because I got some final numbers. Again, the money I spent, the 120K or whatever with Caritas, went through the very, very beginning of like end of May, beginning of this month. And I finally have kind of final numbers when we got taken down. So I'm working on that. But no perfect update on that yet. We'll see. What is this? Damon John got a restraining order. What is this? Damon John slams Shark Tank contestants with a restraining order. Bubba Q's boneless ribs. Do we watch this episode? We watched this one? Wow, that's so funny. Yeah, it sounded familiar. I think it was super happy. Like they hugged and it was a big... Wow, that's so funny. The family has only seen 4% of the 16 million in revenue the business made. Calling John's involvement in the business a nightmare. John cut off all communication with his family until the paper began probing. Wow. That's crazy. It's kind of like you hope Damon John's out. When you pitch, you kind of hope he goes, I'm out. He made FUBU, though. He made FUBU. The one time Damon gets a deal, well, it sounds like he made a bunch of money from it. And then it sounds like he did no work, made a bunch of money from it, and then put a restraining order on them when they got mad at him for it. Which is like, he got sharked. Sounds like he got finessed by the FUBU King. Okay. Peon Me, thank you for the gifties. 5Cat Daddy-O, thank you for the 2 months. Crater, thank you for the 6 months. Kev Dog Man Bear, thank you for the 15. Zousis, thank you for the 6. Cyvoy, thank you for the 23. Phoenix Trite, thank you for the 13 months. I am going to watch Shark Tank now. That's what we're going to do. But I need to know which episode to watch. Floyd the Flamingo, thank you for the 2 months. I don't know anything about Reddit situation. Again, I can't give an informed opinion on it because I didn't read enough about it. I don't know what's going on with Reddit. I don't know. I can't weigh in anything. I have no idea. Have you played TFT-PBE? No. I'm saving it for when it comes out. I'm going to do a stream probably with my friends and boys and have some drinks and play TFT-PBE for money. That's my plan. Oh, what did you want, Bababa? Sorry, let me see. You said Arizona water controversy is about how Saudi Arabia is draining Arizona water supply for basically free as a result of incompetent government. Okay, I'll watch it. Actually, it's really short. Let me see. What is this? It's a good thing Arizona has lots of water, so this should be a problem. It's a good thing Arizona's so...
Welcome back to CBS Mornings, where we are
flooded.
counting down to Earth Day. It's going to be Saturday, by the way, and we've got our series Protecting the Planet. We are investigating a growing controversy in western Arizona that could lead to a reckoning over scarce water supplies. You may be surprised to learn that farms in that desert region are growing one of the most water-intensive crops there is, alfalfa, and they're doing it in an area where there is a shortage of available water. Some farms are foreign-owned, and they are shipping the crop overseas to Saudi Arabia. Amid a backlash, the state legislature is now considering a ban on most foreign-owned farms. Senior national and environmental correspondent Ben Tracy has our story.
Beautiful Arizona.
Just outside of a western Arizona town called Hope.
And as you can see, there's no water.
Cattle rancher Brad Mead is finding it hard not to lose his.
This was your well.
This was my well.
And now you got nothing.
Nothing but dust. You can toss a rock in it, and it's gone.
He then took us here.
This is the edge of your land here?
Yeah.
To show us his neighbor's land. He claims they've used so much water that his well went dry.
And that's all Fondamontes.
All of that green over there.
That green is alfalfa, one of the most water-intensive crops. It's used as cattle feed and being grown on these massive farms in the Arizona desert.
So Saudi Arabia set up an alfalfa farm in the Arizona desert? Why?
By Fondamonte, which is owned by one of the largest dairy companies in Saudi Arabia.
So when you look out there and you see all that green,
Oh.
what do you think?
Because it's owned by a massive Saudi Arabian dairy company that wants more alfalfa for the cows. I get it. Because we want cows.
I see money leaving America. I see water getting depleted.
It makes me very angry because
La Paz County Supervisor Holly Irwin has been sounding the alarm about these foreign-owned farms since they began operating here in 2015.
All right. I mean, Saudi Arabia is a bad example because I think their government has done many distasteful things. But the problem isn't that the farm is necessarily foreign-owned. It's that it's sucking up all the water for fucking alfalfa in Arizona during a drought. That's the fucking problem. Foreign-owned businesses are allowed to exist in America. Like we have, fucking Google has headquarters in Europe. That's allowed. You can have companies that have multinational headquarters, and it's not crazy to have a fucking farm here. That's not crazy. It's just that this is so bad for everyone else and so good for only this farm, where all of the money and profit doesn't even go in America. It was such a bad deal to sell this and to allow it from the local government. Colorado River water rights are fucked as fuck, and more water is leasable if it exists than all the river. I just wish all that money could go to Trump. All the Saudi money? Or what are you trying to say? What is that? Give him the water. Anyway, yeah, we have a huge fucking drought issue already. Although, my understanding is that through the grace of God, the early part of this year was fantastic for California in replenishing groundwater. Like it rained so fucking much at the beginning of this year. I don't think it was enough, but it was like helpful for at least a little while. Vegas flooded too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking. Did the rain help California? Here, this is from... I'm interested. No, I already subscribed to the New York Times, so don't make me log in again. Oh, I'm going to fucking lose it. What does all this rain mean for California's drought? Despite all the rain, experts are hesitant to say the drought is over. I mean, they're probably right, but also they probably just want to say this because if anyone at all gets even a whiff that the drought is quote unquote over, we'll fucking flood the sprinklers for the next 10 years. We will fucking sprinklers on, massive lawn, everything fucking go nuts. Like if anyone in California even gets a hint that you could even call it temporarily over, we're just fucking spraying hoses into the air for no reason. Get the slip and slides out. How can we ever run out of water? Have you seen the ocean? So fucking wise, dude. So fucking wise. It would have been cool if every single dollar that went to crypto went to desalinization of the ocean. Because we might have actually made progress and it would have been like a huge unlock for fresh water worldwide. And instead we got fucking crypto kitties, which are better, of course, but still, I wish we could have both. Isn't it just expensive though? Yeah, but again, a lot of processes start out expensive and then you do them and they find improvements and they make it better. But right now they just won't do it because